Hey folks, my name's Ben from eXplore, and today we're going to look at a new game. It's in early access, it's called Rising Lords. So at eXplore, we get all sorts of games to look at and preview like this, and not all of them are 4X. This game, kind of hard to describe this game. It's a strategy game, and it's a strategy game with a tactical combat element to it. It's quite simple, but it's also quite a lot of fun. Now, I'm just going to caveat this whole thing by saying that I'm not an expert at this game. I have just played it through once, and so I know how to play basically. But please don't expect me to be playing optimally in any way, shape, nor form. This is just a preview because we want to have a look at Rising Lords, right? And just kind of sort of see what it's about and what it's got to offer. So let's get straight into it. We're going to go to the... Let's change my name here. Who is this King Halford person? Right, let's change it to battle mode. And we're going to go to scenarios. But you can actually play just the battles in this game if you want. And you can set these up with quick battle or custom battle. But we want to play, kind of the campaign, I guess, or the skirm. It's not really a campaign at this point. I've got to be honest with you. I don't really know what the full roadmap is for this game. Whether it's going to have like a 4X or RTS style kind of campaign to it, or whether it's just going to be a series of skirmishes. But either way, this mode seems to be the main game mode at the moment, and it's like a skirmish, I guess. So we get to choose our player, and we can customize our player here. So you can kind of choose kind of make him look however you want. I'm going to give myself a beard just because that's kind of what I've got in real life. Like some kind of crazy monk guy. I mean, yeah, that'll do. All right. You can change certain attributes. So harvest and animal growth minus 15%. This is careless. You can be craven, which gives you more points. Popular, inspiring, painstaking. These all do different things. I'm going to leave this at the moment. I'm just going to play... I played the game through without even touching this last time, so I'm going to do the same thing because honestly I don't really know what each one of these is going to do. I mean, for example, popular gives you +2 happiness per turn. That seems fairly obvious, right? Which means we're going to be able to tax people more, essentially, without upsetting them. So I'll add that. Okay. As for the rest of the settings, oops, I don't think it saved that. There we go. Okay, there we go. So we hit this button here. I want my monk back. There we go. Okay, so we're a popular monk called battle mode. So we've got two other opponents in this game. There's Lord Bert and Lord Henry. Now they're both on beginner mode. Now when I played this before, it was very easy. They didn't attack me at all. So passive, beginner, prosperity, knightly, aggressive. These are all different AI modes I'm gathering. And we've got weak, normal, strong. So before I played them all on beginner and weak. I'm going to put them onto normal. So don't be surprised if I get my ass kicked. But I'm not really here to win this game today. I just want to show you what it's about. So we've got a series of settings that we can change here. So these are all to do with your starting resources. So you have resources like money, the amount of food you have, wool, iron, and stone. There's other things too. And then you've got weapons. You have to build your own weapons in this game in order to equip your units for when you want to attack. So for combat. So you're setting the amount of weapons here. Prosperity, I'm guessing, just I'm not sure what this does. I'm assuming that changing this will probably change the starting development level of your town. You can turn permadeath on, and you can have a battle timer. There's also events that happen each game, and you can have beneficial events, mixed, brutal, or very brutal, or none. I'm just going to leave them on mixed because it'd be good to get an idea of just what the game's got to offer in that respect. So we are battle mode. We are human, so we're blue. Now I've got to be honest with you. I'm not really sure how to read these maps. I think these are the locations that are available in the game, and yeah, so there's going to be 19 regions in this game, so this is going to be quite a long game. You can change it, so there are different maps clearly. Hungary, this one's called Hungary, so there's 4 players and 11 regions. Lithuania, 4 players, 4 regions. So this is kind of how you would have. I think this is what I was playing on in the last game, and I think I might leave it on this one actually, just so that we can have a relatively short game. I'm not sure if I'm definitely going to finish it. We'll just see how it goes. So let's start on this one anyway, and we're going to be starting in blue, I believe. There's some kind of funky medieval music going on. Okay, so this is our territory at the start, and if you go into the options, you can actually you can turn on the show regions. Now this kind of, I'm not sure if this can be attached to a hotkey. It probably should be, but we can now look to see where the different regions in the game are. So bear with me, guys, because I do think that audio might just be a little bit too loud. Let's turn this music down a bit. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we are in the red territory here, I think. Yeah, this is our territory. And then we've got 2... This one belongs to the people. I think that's this territory here it's selected. There we go. So that's Lord Henry's territory here. This one's Lord Bert's. This is ours. And this is Nalzia. And then we've got this region belongs to the people. So this is because we don't have 4 players. There's only 3 players in this game. So I guess we're going to be fighting over this one. Okay, so let's go back in. I'm just going to turn off that show regions. There we go. Now, at the start of the game, we've got a number of peasants, and we've got some land that they can farm, and there's also some other little locations. You'll see that this is a farmland that we can remove the... this wasteland, basically. We can clear it to become farm fields, as it says in the tooltip. This is where we can gather lumber in a forest. There will be a stone mine, no doubt, and an iron mine. So this is the iron mine. Let's see if we can find the stone mine. There's another field. Maybe we don't have one on this map. I would expect we would have somewhere. Okay, I can't see. I know everything's highlighted once you pick something up, right? So let's see if we've got... No, it looks like we don't have stone, so we might have to trade for it in this one. So, okay. So first off, we've got... Let's have a look at our starting resources. We've got 250 gold. This is money that you use for... well, I'll just read from the tooltip. Gold is needed to raise armies and pay upkeep, as well as building and buying goods from the merchant. So there's a merchant who pops up every few turns, and you can buy things from him or sell them. We've got lumber, wood. We've got stone, iron. We've got wool, which is needed for light armor and some buildings, and then we've got different weapons. And these different kinds of weapons and different kind of armor are used in the formation of your military units when you raise them. Military units are raised from your peasantry, and they cost money to keep raised. So you don't really want to have armies raised at all times. You only really raise them when you need them. And we've also got horses here, and horses. You can have sheep, horses, and cattle. Now, sheep and cattle provide you with milk, and you can also eat them if you need to. Horses you can also eat, but you don't really want to do that. They're not the best meat anyway, I believe. Just down at the bottom here, we've got an indication of how many population we've got. Population increases with birth, it decreases with death, and you can get migrants coming in and out. There's a population. If you see here, we've got the maximum amount of population that we can have is in brackets, and the current amount of population we have here. So in this particular game, we start off with this town centre, and what we want to be doing quite early on is we want to be building... Where are we? The manor. Now the manor increases your maximum number of workers, so it houses people essentially. All of these buildings house people too, so the more buildings you build, the more maximum population you can have. And if you exceed your maximum population, you'll start to get beggars. Okay, next we've got the health of your populace, and so the health refers to your population's overall health. And this gives you the health of your region. All of these are split by region. Okay, so once we've actually conquered another region, you'll get a separate indicator for all of these. So health affects how your people grow, I think, and Health suffers if you have many people living in your towns, especially beggars. Larger rations as well as food variety are beneficial to overall health. The season plays a role as people are less healthy during the winter season. Health affects your region's birth and death rate, so we want to keep this positive if we can. Now, the way this works is we set the amount of food that you give to your populace. So at the moment we're just giving them half rations, which is going to limit their happiness and limit their health. But we only have a certain amount of food. We started out with 1,100 wheat. Cattle, sheep and horses can also be used as food, as I explained. The cattle, you don't really want to be eating them until you've got a certain amount of them, right? So these, by the way, we've actually got 50 cattle, and you can see that they're currently in this field here. Now we need to assign a peasant. Otherwise they're going to die. As you can see, look, we're going to lose 50% of our cattle because there's nobody tending them this season, so they will just die off or wander off. So you need to let's just go through the rest of these. So we've got the happiness of your people. This basically it's affected by various things. How much food you've got, some of the buildings that you can build, the food diversity that you're eating, the taxation that you're putting them through, because look, we're only making 19 each turn. That's basically because we're only quarter tithing them. We could put this right up to a normal tithe, which is we'd be getting 75, which is a bit more respectable. And you can go right up to triple tithe, but that's going to really affect their happiness because you're just squeezing them dry. And the happiness, I think, has an effect on growth too. Let me just have a look at this. Maybe not, but I think it might affect health. Season plays a role. Yeah, well, anyway, you want to keep the happiness up. The higher the happiness, the better. It's a general thing in these games, right? The garrison tells you how many knights and how many military units you've got. So we've got 15 knights and 60 bowmen. These will jump out and defend us if we are attacked by one of our opponents. Okay, so we're about there. There are some of the bits and pieces with the interface that we can go through as we come across it. Okay, so first we need to start assigning our peasants to jobs. So let's pick one up, and we're going to drop it into the field here. So you'll see now that we've got a net increase of 16 cattle per turn. We can set whether we want to eat them or not, in which case we're going to be using less wheat, but we'll only be growing 6 cattle a turn. What I want to do is, I think one farmer can look after 500 cows, if that's right. Yeah, based on available workers, this region can manage a total of 500 cows. So we want to get this up to the maximum amount so that we're growing them. Then we can actually either sell them or we can use them for food as and when we need to. Let's put we want to start clearing some land, I think, because we want to be able to get... Oops, let's just pick up all of these guys. So, okay, so you'll see that here it says 0 of 6 progress. That means you need to work through 6 progress points in order to clear this land. So it will be 2 turns with 3 farmers working on it. That's not a great idea. We actually want to be sowing some food. So I'm actually going to at least just grow 1 food here this year. We've got enough food if we're lasting on half rations to last us, I think, for the year. Now there are events that can happen which can reduce the amount of food that you're getting, so we do have to be careful with that. Okay. This guy is, these are the Blood Brothers of Thurn. They're a mercenary outfit, and they cost 1,500. They're actually quite good when you do come to war, but you don't, I'm not going to build these yet. So, we're going to roll the turn on, and that's pretty much all we can do this first turn, I think. There's no merchant to deal with, so let's go ahead. Okay, so you'll see that the season's changed. We're now into spring, and we've got now people have started to work. So this is a field to farm crops or livestock, growing 60 seeds worth of crop, which will produce 600 wheat. So next, at the end of this year, we're going to get 600 wheat to replace what we're eating. Now, you're not going to eat very much at all over the spring and the summer. So you don't need that much over the spring and the summer, but in the winter, the health will go down significantly. So we need to save a decent amount. We're going to have to use, like maybe half or double rations to keep them healthy. We're also losing happiness here, which is not good. So I'm tempted just to raise this higher. We don't want to be losing happiness. Now we do want to clear this land as soon as possible. You are taking a bit of a risk doing this, I think, but you know, having 3 fields going at the start of the game is probably quite useful because we can actually start to build sheeps. Okay, and I think again that's pretty much all we can do. You'll notice that we've actually had a jump in population here, so the population has increased by 50, I believe. Yeah, overall change in population from previous turn is 50. Okay, and we've eaten some. We're going to be eating food, the wheat as well. So I'm going to switch them to normal rations. I think we can afford to do this. We could always eat some of the cows if we needed to. Now this would give us an increase in happiness and health, but I want to actually get these cows up first. I want to get them, you know, to a decent point where they're starting to breed a bit quicker. So we're going to move into the summer now, round 3. Oh, so this is one of the events. This is a bad event, look. So half of all your sheep and cows perished with blackleg disease. Okay, so we've lost a significant amount of our cows. That's a significant setback. That's unfortunate. However, we do have just one more turn, and then we've got access to this other farmland. I do think we can probably... Oh no, okay, so you'll see how there's a green outline around this farmer now. We are producing more food, but you get diminishing returns. So in fact I don't think you even produce any more with that one. So if you ever have more than you need, you'll see that you've got a green outline around them. Okay, now the merchant has appeared. So this guy we can actually buy or sell products from. It might actually be worth us buying a few more cows just so that we can get our cow production up, because we did lose quite a lot then. So I'm just going to add some more cows. Let's try and I'll perhaps just added what we lost. There we go. That's going to cost 225. It's going to cost a lot. That's a lot of money, but we are tithing our people. It might be wise just to drop the tithe ever so slightly now, just so that we, you know, we're bringing that happiness back up. Okay, and you'll see that this guy he's doing is he's tending the livestock. All the while, by the way, our opponent is doing the same. We can have a look at what's going on in his lands, but we won't get very accurate information because we just don't know exactly what's going on here. We can see that he's growing wheat and tending crops. He's basically going to be doing similar stuff to us. Okay. Ah, so we've had a poor harvest as well. This is really bad luck we've had in this game. So, and we've cleared the wasteland, so that's one net positive. So the 2 peasants that were clearing the wasteland have now returned to where we were. We do need to start thinking about building some more buildings here. Now, yeah, because we are getting close to the limit of population that we can have. We are in fall. I'm going to drop the rations down. This is going to affect our health significantly, but the problem is we just don't have that much food. And when the winter comes, we're going to spend a lot of money on food, I think. Mind you, we're already losing a lot of health. Yeah, I'm going to put them down to half rations. We're going to be losing people. That's not good. Maybe I'll just leave it on normal and just hope we don't starve. Oh dear, drastic times already. So, we can put people sowing. Now this we can't actually sow anything in fall, so there's actually no point in putting this person here. It might be an idea just to put them... No, can't do anything here either. Perhaps we just put them into the various mines and lumber yards, so we can actually start increasing. You'll notice, look, that we're now getting 60 lumber or wood and iron respectively. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to roll the turn on. So the aim of the game at the start is just to build your infrastructure up so that you can support an army. And once you've got an army, then you want to go in and roll over your neighbours. It's like I say, it is a really simple game, but it's quite good fun. Yeah, kind of. I played the game, like I say, I played the game through, and it probably took me about maybe 3 hours, and I was learning it as I went. So it's really not. at least you know, on this basic level, it doesn't seem to be a particularly complex game, but it's certainly nuanced. I found it quite easy, but I played it on the very easiest setting, so that's to be expected. Gone are the days when I instantly turn games up to the hardest mode, because I have to review and play so many of them now that I just can't do it. Okay, so we've got a guy sowing the field here, and I think we probably should put another one here. Oh yeah, okay, so we can get 2 people this round. In fact, let's get 3 people. We're going to actually build way more this turn. I think we can have a maximum of 3 in the sowing phase in winter. So if we put 3 here, we don't really need any more of these yet, I don't think. And let's try and get a decent crop this year. And we're just going to try and build up our population. We should probably, yeah, we're on normal rations still. Yeah, this should be okay. We're actually raising in happiness as well. I'm not quite sure what we've done differently this time. It might be because they had a negative effect because of the events that happened. Oh, a wild boar has appeared in our crop field. Okay, so you'll notice that. Okay, a wild boar has appeared in Nausea. You can either leave it or send in peasants to fight it. The more peasants, the greater chance of victory. So we're just going to send them all in because this is our only crop field anyway. So let's get them all fighting this boar. I really like the graphics in this game. I think they're really cool. The unit counters are kind of reminiscent of Battle Brothers. I'm sure you'll have noticed this, but I do like it. I think the graphics are really sweet. Look at this guy. Okay. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot we can do. I might drop the rations down. Yeah, we are running quite low on food, so I'm gonna drop the rations down. I'm gonna perhaps eat some of these cattle too, just to further drop it down. We are gonna lose some happiness and some health, unfortunately. Let's hope we can kill these boars. I'm pretty sure that 3 peasants will kill this boar. Okay, so we've killed the boar. Okay, that's great. So now they're going to be growing. They're going to be tending this field. We're in summer. They've got to stay there. We don't need all 3 now, so we can pick 2 of them up, I believe. Ah, hang on. No, we need 2. Okay, so 3's. So it looks like 3 is too many, and 2 is not enough. Look, the field needs more farmers. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna have to stay with 3. So yeah, that's interesting. So I mean, it's kind of saying we need more than 2, but less than 3. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, or whether it's just telling us that, you know, that we are going to be losing some efficiency there. Okay, so we've hit 4, and they're harvesting the crops now. So yeah, again, we need to keep all 3 of these guys doing this, and we've received 1,503 of the wheat. So let's stop eating the cows so they grow a little bit quicker, and we're going to raise the rations up. I think we can afford to do this, and our health's going to drop down, but our happiness is still on the rise. Next turn, I'm not going to build quite so much food or grow so much food, and I'm actually going to start building something to help with our population. As you can see, the turns go by pretty quickly. Now, I fully concede that I might be missing some of the nuance of this game, but it just strikes me as it is quite simple. So you can play it through quite quick, and that, you know, and in this day and age when we're all busy people with jobs and work, you know, work and university and all these other, you know, and parenting and all these things that we have to do, sometimes playing a game that's a little bit less kind of time consuming and a little bit quicker to resolve can be a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to make sure, I think I'm just going to grow 1 this time around because we've got a little bit of excess food, and this time, no, we've got too many in there. We will actually grow more cattle, by the way, if we put more people in, but there are diminishing returns. You'll notice that if we just have 1, we've only got 18 cattle, but growing 18 cattle, but if we put 2 in, we get 47, so that's significant. We are getting the warning about inefficiency with this green outline, but that's no problem. I think what we're going to do is we're going to build a manor, and this increases the maximum amount of workers that we can have. So we've also got the inn, which increases the maximum population and enables you to put peasants in it to raise happiness. Actually, that might be the best move. So let's build the inn here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so we're building the inn here, and we're going to put 2 peasants in, and that's going to take 3 turns. So that's going to be the best part of this year. At the moment, I don't think we have to worry too much about what our opponents are doing. As soon as we can, though, we do want to raise an army and try and go and take these lands down here that are just below. These don't have a lord currently. We don't really want the opposing lords to take them. Okay, so you'll notice now we've actually got an extra worker. Look, and this is because we've had an extra 250 populace. Every 250 population you get 1 more worker. So you'll see how you know your realm will start to expand as you keep your people happy and healthy and fed. Okay, we're almost getting towards the maximum amount of cattle that we can have too. I think what we'll do is progress 2 of 6. I'm going to put this person. Let's get them in. Let's get them in wood, making wood, because we lost wood, look, for building this inn. So we are going to need to start focusing on some of the other materials that we can get. Also, getting sheep on the go will be pretty important. Okay, so we've got flourishing economy. You have received 1,000 extra taxes this season. I love the artwork in this game. I want to point that out. It's almost reminiscent of some of the old tarot decks somehow. Like, it kind of reminds me of that. They're just really, yeah, it's really cool. I think the artwork in this game is really nice. Okay, so we've got a flourishing economy, so we're getting extra money, which is always a good thing. We could probably take the tithe down and raise the happiness up higher. Although we do need to limit our population ever so slightly until we've got more space for people. No, I'll leave it as it is. I'll leave it on the half tithe. And we're gradually getting more lumber. There we go, and we finished the inn. So you'll see now that our maximum population has gone up to 2,000. And we've got even more extra taxes this turn. And it's telling us that it's completed the construction of the inn. So now we can put population inside the inn, and they will that will add happiness. Now at the start of the game, it's not that. I don't think it's, well, I'm thinking that it's probably not a good idea to do this unless you really need the extra happiness. You're probably better off getting people into the fields, and we want to start building sheep now, or buying sheep. So I'm going to get some sheep, see how many we can. Maybe I'll take 50. That'll be 200. Well, maybe a few more. Try and get them up quickly, because we can start using them for milk immediately. So we're going to buy some sheep, and then we right click on the field, and we click sheep. So this guy's now become sheep. Is shepherd. So you'll see that we're going to be growing 24 sheep a turn. Again, we can just decide to eat them or not. You know, and they not only provide food in the form of milk or meat if you eat them, but they also give you wool, and wool's used for the construction of buildings and some armor, particularly this light armor that you get. Okay, so we've got two spare workers. I'm going to put them into. I'll put one into the lumber and one into the iron. We will want iron eventually when we start building armor. Okay, so it's now sowing season. Health is not bad actually, considering it's winter. We've been feeding them normal rations, and happiness is on the up, so this is good. Now is the time just to have a quick look at see what our opponents are doing. Yeah, they've got a few more buildings than us, so it looks like they might be outdoing us. So we've got to be a bit careful here now. I need to focus on growth as much as possible, because we need to be able to defend ourselves if we are attacked. Okay. Right, guys, I'm going to leave the episode there, but I will see you back for episode 2 when we'll be carrying on with Rising Lords. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.